Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle.
I'm Atticus.
And I'm Billy.
While every episode of Fun Facts Daily is clean and appropriate for listeners of all ages, on the first Friday of every month, I like to make a special Family Fun Friday with my kids co-hosting as we explore a topic they love and hopefully you and your family will too.
Today, we'll be learning all about hockey.
But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell fact from fiction. Consider this. In the very early days of hockey, before modern manufacturing, players had to be creative about what they used for their equipment. Legend has it that before the invention of the rubber puck, early players used frozen cow manure, often called road apples, to play their games on frozen ponds.
What do you think? Is this an actual fact, or does it just not pass the smell test? We'll find out at the end of the episode. Now for your word of the day.
Today's word is hat trick. That's H-A-T space T-R-I-C-K. Two different words. In ice hockey, a hat trick is the celebration that happens when a single player scores 3 goals in one game. If you're ever lucky enough to be in the arena when this happens, you might see hundreds of fans actually throwing their hats onto the ice to celebrate the player's achievement.
The term actually originated in the sport of cricket back in the 1800s when a bowler who took 3 wickets in 3 consecutive balls was given a new hat as a reward. In hockey, there are conflicting accounts, but the tradition is often linked to a businessman in Toronto named Sammy Taft. The story goes, Chicago forward Alex Catella tried on a fedora at Taft's store, but couldn't afford to buy it. He was told he could have it if he scored 3 goals against the Maple Leafs that night in 1946. Catella did get the hat trick and the hat afterwards. Taft supposedly offered a free fedora to any player who could score 3 goals in a game during that season. The name stuck, and today it's one of the most exciting moments in sports. Now, just a little history of the hat trick. Harry Hyland scored the first hat trick in NHL history in the league's first game on December 19, 1970. He actually scored 5 goals in that game. The record for the most hat tricks in a career, though, is held by Wayne Gretzky. Over his years in the NHL, he racked up an astonishing 50 hat tricks in regular season games, and the number jumps up to 60 if you include his postseason play. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun facts about ice hockey.
Number 1. Professional hockey pucks are frozen before the game.
In the National Hockey League, before they hit the ice, the pucks are kept in a freezer cooler to keep them at temperatures between 14 and 20 degrees Fahrenheit or -10 to -6 degrees Celsius. Standard hockey pucks are made of vulcanized rubber, which tends to be very bouncy at room temperature. If they played with a warm puck, it would bounce wildly all over the ice like a tennis ball, making it nearly impossible for players to control or pass accurately. By freezing the rubber, the material becomes much harder and deadens the bounce, allowing the puck to glide smoothly across the ice surface. Now, if you're wondering whether the friction of the game and the warmth of the arena eventually heat the puck back up, you're right, that is a concern. The officials actually swap out the puck for a fresh, frozen one every face-off, during timeouts, or whenever the puck feels warm to the touch. So an average NHL game can actually use dozens of pucks.
Number 2. In the early days of the NHL, goalies didn't actually wear a mask. That changed after a player was hit in the face and refused to go back out onto the ice without one.
For a long time in hockey history, goaltenders didn't wear any face protection, believing that masks would block their vision or might make them look cowardly. That changed on November 1st, 1959, when Montreal Canadiens goalie Jacques Plante was hit in the face with a hard shot requiring stitches to close a bad cut. When he returned from the locker room, he told his coach he wouldn't go back into the net unless he was allowed to wear the fiberglass mask he had been using during practice. The coach was reluctant, but had no other goalies available, so he allowed Plante to wear the mask, forever changing the face of the sport. While fans and other players initially mocked him, Plante went on to win a long string of games, proving that not worrying about getting hit in the face might actually be an advantage, making him a better, more confident player. Today, goalie masks are mandatory for safety. They've also become kind of canvases of incredible artwork, with goalies painting personal designs and team mascots on them.
Number 3. The Stanley Cup is the only professional sports trophy that has a full-time babysitter.
The Stanley Cup, awarded to the NHL champion, is unique because there's only one original trophy that's passed from winning team to winning team, rather than a new one being made every year. Because the trophy travels all over the world, visiting the hometowns of every player on the winning team, it's accompanied at all times by a keeper of the cup from the Hockey Hall of Fame. This keeper wears white gloves to handle the silver trophy and ensures it gets to its destination safely, whether that's a parade, a player's backyard party, or a TV appearance. Because the cup travels about 300 days a year, it has seen some wild adventures. Over the years, the cup's been accidentally left on a roadside curb, thrown into a swimming pool by enthusiastic players, and even lost in a canal in Ottawa in 1905 before being fished out the next day. The keeper of the cup is there to make sure that no matter what crazy celebration happens, the trophy is cleaned, polished, and returned to the Hall of Fame in one piece.
Number 4. The highest scoring hockey game in Olympic history was a 33-0 blowout.
In the 1924 Winter Olympics, the Canadian team was a force to be reckoned with. They defeated Switzerland with a score of 33-0. It remains a record for the most lopsided victory in Olympic ice hockey history, showing just how dominant those early Canadian teams were. One player, Harry Watson, scored 13 goals in just a single game, a record that'll likely never be broken. They say this score happened because, at the time, Canada was one of the few countries with indoor rinks and organized leagues. The rest of the world was still learning the game on frozen ponds, leading to huge gaps in skill level. Today, hockey has grown globally, and teams from all over Europe and North America are extremely competitive, making it extremely unlikely we'll ever see another game with a 33-0 score.
Number 5. Manon Rhéaume made history as the first woman to play in the NHL.
While the NHL is a men's league, a trailblazing athlete named Manon Rhéaume shattered the glass ceiling when she became the first woman signed to an NHL team in 1992. The Tampa Bay Lightning signed Rhéaume to a contract, and she played in a preseason game against the St. Louis Blues, making her the first woman to play in any of the so-called Big Four major North American professional sports leagues. Her appearance in the game was a massive inspiration for young girls everywhere who dreamed of playing hockey at a higher level. Rhéaume didn't stop there, though. She went on to help Team Canada win the silver medal at the 1998 Winter Olympics in Nagano, the first year women's hockey was included in the Olympic Games. Her jersey and equipment from that historic NHL game are now preserved in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Now for some news you can use. If you want to impress your friends with a powerful slapshot, the secret is not actually hitting the puck, it's hitting the ice. To hit a proper slap shot, you wind up your stick, but as you swing it down, you want the blade to strike the ice about an inch or two behind the puck rather than making clean contact with the puck itself. It might sound surprising, but there's some interesting physics at play. Modern hockey sticks are designed to be flexible. By hitting the ice first, you force the shaft of the stick to bend, loading it with potential energy like a coiled spring. As you follow through, the stick snaps back to its original straight shape right as it hits the puck, releasing all that stored energy in an explosive transfer of power. This whip effect is what launches the puck at speeds much faster than your arms could ever swing it. Now for the moment you've been waiting for.
Earlier, I asked if it was true that early hockey players used frozen cow manure as pucks.
That's a fact.
In the late 1800s and early 1900s, before official rubber pucks were mass-produced, players on frozen ponds and rivers used whatever they could find. These frozen pucks were politely known as road apples. While it may not have been people's first choice, the manure pucks worked in a pinch. Because they were frozen solid, they slid across the ice surprisingly well, although I imagine the game got a little messy if the temperature started to rise. Players also used round pieces of wood or cut up lacrosse balls, but the frozen cow pat remains the most amusing origin story for the modern hockey puck. Of course, as hockey became a more formal sport, the first organized games used flat, circular pieces of wood. The road apple manure puck was more of a pond hockey desperation move.
We hope you enjoyed learning all about hockey with us today.
And be sure to tune in every weekday for more fun facts.
Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by us, Kyle, Atticus, and Philly. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with us. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.